Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to IndieRPGs.com Checks Out. Today I'm finally getting around to checking out a JRPG that I've been wanting to look at for quite a while, Celestian Tales Old North. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Just FYI, I am playing this with a gamepad. This has gamepad support, and as is fitting and proper for a JRPG, I am playing it with said gamepad. So this is our selection of characters. We can start off as Arya Geraldine. She's kind of a religious crusader person. We have Lucienne LaRue. She's a duty-bound knight. We have Isaac Goldenlake, who is kind of a like rogue, I guess. Basically, kind of a poor person who wants to overthrow the upper classes. We have a half-elf, presumably an archer, based on the fact that she's carrying a quiver of arrows. We have Camille Rhine, who is evidently a sort of a noble merchant person. And Reynard de la Forêt, who is heir to a hunter family or something. He's a warrior, or a knight, or something of that nature. I kind of like Lucienne. She looks like she has attitude. Let's go with Lucienne. The soldier. Miss Lucienne, Lord Severin has moved out toward the deserters' camp. Very well. Thank you, runner. You may rest now. Are you not moving out right away, miss? No. We'll wait until they sound the horn before circling around that hill. But wouldn't Lord Severin be surrounded by the time you arrive? Him? Surrounded? Surrounded? Perhaps you've never seen my Lord Uncle in battle, kind runner. May I know your name? It's Louis, miss. When my Lord Uncle gives us an order, we follow it to the letter. Do you know why? Because we'll be whipped if we disobey? No, because it brings us victory. There's the signal. Do not sound the horn, and do not raise your banners. Aim for their reserves and block their escape route. Aye! For the Old North! For Lord Severin! Find somewhere safe, Louis. Forward! Man, leading a whole dozen troops. That's some army she's got there. Storm the camp! Block all escape routes! We take no prisoners. The punishment for desertion is death. Understood! There are like weird shadow things just kind of moving around here. Miss Lucienne, don't mind me, and keep moving forward. Their leader should be in the back. If he's defeated, we should have an easy time with the lackeys. Yeah, what is this? Okay, just random combat. Got it. Okay, so it looks like we've got a turn order up in the top left there. Kind of similar to the way that Voidspire Tactics did it, looks like. Let's see what our skills are. Battlefield Tyrant. Okay, so that shows us information about the folks on the field. Oh, sorry, it's up there. Haha. Raises enemy aggression to Lucienne. Raises Lucienne's defense for 3 turns. Okay, so it looks like that is kind of like... That reminds me actually a little bit of that thing from... oh, what's the name of that game? That one I reviewed like a million years ago. It'll come to me. Anyway, the game with the threat level. That's actually pretty cool to see another game using something similar. Body Perfection. Removes poison, bleed, and blind from Lucienne and restores a small amount of health. Okay, so so she's got a little status effect clearing skill there. That's cool. Let's just go ahead and attack, though. I don't think these guys are going to be too big of a problem for us. Well, that brought us to less than half health. That's less than ideal. We have no items, apparently, which is also less than ideal. It looks like maybe the damage doesn't carry over, though? It's showing her at just 183 hit points. So maybe let's just go ahead and save just in case. Oh no, we can't save here. Never mind that. What is this? Aha! That lets us save. Let's do that. How you doing, buddy? Not much to say. Alright. Ambushing in the middle of the night. Is this what honorable knights do? You're not so different from us after all. I have no need to listen to traitors. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so it appears we recover back to full health after every battle. Good to know. So I think I'm going to use Battlefield Tyrant, because that's 3 turns worth of increased defense. Oh, it looks like we have bleed status going on. Let's go ahead and use body perfection. And okay, looks like we once again have bleed status, and now we can't use that again. Cool. Well, guess we're attacking. Looks like our STA, I'm guessing that's stamina, slowly recovers over time. Let's just attack, I think. Hey, what do you know? That worked out okay. Victory! Good job, Lucien, you did it. Victory! The Ravager is victorious once more! Thank the Deus. Good hunting, Lord Uncle. When wolves murder sheep, it's not called a hunt, Lucien, it's a slaughter. But it's justified, is it not? It is. These men knew the price for desertion, and yet they did it anyway. It's our duty as soldiers to uphold the law and make an example out of those who break them. I wonder what drove them to such an act. Do you know why a bear is strong, Lucien? Because they're born that way. Now, tell me why a human is strong. Because they choose to be. These people chose to abandon their duties and take from others for a living. What do you choose to be in this life, Lucien? I choose to be a knight, Lord Uncle. Ah, a knight. A fine calling. There are many great lady knights in the Old North. The Lioness of Belenus, for example. I don't want to be like the Lioness, Lord Uncle. I want to be like you. Will you take me under your wings? If only I could knight you with this sword, Lucien. I will do so right now. You already know how to conduct warfare better than most seasoned knights. You've understood the tenets of knighthood, and today you've proven your worthiness. Yet as much as I want to, I can't. I am no blade-bearer, and so I wield no power to raise someone to the rank of knight. To become a knight, you must seek a blade-bearer and serve them as squire. Only after they decide that you are worthy will you be knighted. Send me to Levantine then, Lord Uncle. I shall achieve my knighthood there. You wish to train a squire under the Levants? Yes, indeed. A fine choice. But why? The Durandals have renowned military training and skillful smiths, more than the Levants. With your skills, the White Knights will gladly take you in. You'll have a better future as a general with them. I'm not squiring because I want glory of my own, Lord Uncle. I do so because I want to serve you. I want to fight by your side, as a knight, as your subject, and perhaps, someday, as your second-in-command. As you serve the Levants, then so shall I, so I can defend the same realm together with you. If only my cowardly son were more like you, Lucien. Cousin Lupin has his own good qualities, Lord Uncle, but warfare is far from one of them. Very well. I'll write a letter to my brother-in-law about your coming to Squire. I will not disappoint you, Lord Uncle. I shall return to your side as a knight worthy of your leadership. This I promise you. Lower the sail.
Yes, miss.
Grab those ropes tight, sailors. Do you want us to get blown away?
No, miss. Whew. She's a very hands-on woman, isn't she? So young, yet so used to commanding men. That's the niece of Severin LaRue for you. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And a hard worker, too. Most nobles wouldn't get their hands dirty with the ropes themselves, but this one's a different kind. She'll be a great general one day, if she can survive the court. I heard it's a horrible place there with nobles trying to backstab each other. Stop dawdling around, you two. Good work on the ropes. Now go help the others and prepare for landing. Yes, miss.
I'll return to you a great knight, Lord Uncle, a knight you'll be able to depend on. And then I'll stand and fight by your side, you'll see. Gotta say, so far, except for like a couple of issues with the grammar, this is pretty well written so far. I'm enjoying it. I didn't mention it, but yeah, this is by Equator Games, in case you were wondering. Okay, that was pretty awesome. I'm impressed. That was Kickstarter money well spent right there. I don't know why they didn't have that on the title screen, frankly. Welcome, young ones, to Castle Levantine. Your journey must have been long and tiring, but I ask that you listen to what I have to say. Your parents sent you here so that you can learn under my tutelage. I may not be the best mentor of knightly arts, nor may I be the best in matters of piety, but as bearer of the sacred sword LaRue, I shall do my best to teach you.
Camille of the Rhine, how is your family? Is Lord Robert in good health?
He tries to give that impression, my lord, but my father isn't getting younger.
I see. I shall send some medicines as gifts for him then. Your brother, too, earned his knighthood in these halls. I shall temper you in the same fire.
I hope I can make them proud, my lord.
Ah, isn't it Reynard from House de la Forêt? Stories of your might precede you.
Ha ha ha! You'll see them firsthand soon, my lord!
Your family are unsung heroes that defend the realm, Master Reynard. Do you think your own legend can someday rise up to their glory?
I wouldn't have agreed to come here if I didn't believe so, my lord.
Ha ha! What a spirited youngster. I'll expect much of you, kid. Ah, Aria of the Godlin Geraldines. I was surprised to hear of your coming. I am, after all, far from being the most pious of knights. Mine lord is too humble. The name Levant owes thee for its praise all over the Old North. Faith comes in many shapes, my lord. Thine great wisdom is one amongst it.
Oh God, guys, I'm sorry. This Middle English is like not grammatically correct, and it's bothering me.
'Tis an honor for me to be allowed to learn under such a man. Well, well, I see Lord Gareth has taught you to be a prodigy in the art of speech. Yeah, not exactly. You'll no doubt succeed in the ballrooms. But there's more to knighthood than politics.
Wait, what kind of ballrooms does this place have? You dance in ballrooms, you don't speak in them. What the heck?
I understand, my lord. I shall deliver thee my best. Ah, Lucienne! My, look at how you've grown. I heard you've just vanquished another band of renegades with your uncle. Is it true?
Indeed, my lord. Lord Uncle himself led the skirmish to glorious victory.
Lord Uncle, Somewhat odd choice for a nickname, don't you think?
I'm sorry, my lord. I got used to calling him as such.
It's all right, Lucienne. A niece is allowed to be fond of her uncle, isn't she? How's my brother-in-law doing? Still as relentless as ever?
As is fitting for the finest swordsman in the Old North, my lord.
Good then. I hope he'll always stay that way. Young Master Isaac, my deepest condolences regarding the state of the Golden Lakes. I'm not very close with your father, but I shall respect his last wishes and take you in as squire.
Thank you, my lord. Is something wrong, my lord?
No, something is troubling me, but I can't seem to put it... I guess I'm just getting old and forgetful. Now, this is a rare occurrence indeed. It's not often we see an elf wishing to be a squire. Yet the badge you brought is your father's, you say? Yes, Mother gave it to you, Lee, and said that she should show it to you. I knew him full well, Leanne. Your father was a good man. And if you are indeed his daughter, then you do have the right to be knighted. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord. Lee will cherish these days.
Oh God, does she refer to herself in the third person all the time? Sigh.
First of all, though, perhaps I should have you learn how to correctly address nobles. Huh? Did Lee say something wrong? Ah, no matter. I suppose it will take care of itself later. Knighthood! Such a thing is not a privilege given to those born of noble blood. It is a sacred responsibility, given to us by the heavens, and by those who came before us. Some might think that being a noble means being entitled, but that's not all what it is. Noblesse oblige, the phrase goes. We are nobles not only in titles, but also in duties. Your training won't be easy, squires, nor will it be pleasant. This isn't the place for that. I might not teach you how to behave in court, nor how to charge in battle atop a destrier, but I will teach you the most basic and important tenet of knighthood, to perform your duties. Duties to our people, duties to our queen, duties to our realm. These are things that run our world. Husband dearest, perhaps you should keep the speech brief. These young ones have just traveled far and wide to reach Levantine. I'm sure they need rest. Yes, you're right, dear. Forgive me for the overzealous oratory. I tend to get carried away at times.
Perhaps most of the time, husband dear. Let me show them to their rooms so they can rest. Very well. Get some rest tonight, Squires. Tomorrow you will start your training. Jacques, Levantine's master-at-arms, shall be your mentor for the day. It will be glorious. A start to your adventures. I have no doubt of that. Your room is surprisingly filled with belongings, Lucien. Knowing what Severin is like, I thought you'd be as Spartan as he is. Let's see, what are those books in your desk? Those are teachings on tactical warfare, my lady. I like to read them in my spare time. How about those boxes over there? Do you bring some dresses for balls? This is spare armor, my lady. It also stores maintenance tools and spare tips for my spear. I see. Perhaps I should have expected such things from a LaRue. Does my lady prefer a more feminine squire? Not at all, Lucien, not at all. I know you're close with your uncle, and I don't blame you for idolizing the hero that he is. I'm merely concerned that such devotion may, in time, turn into an obsession. Feel free to spend the rest of your day however you want, Lucien. Walking the city might be a good idea. But don't forget to rest. Tomorrow your training begins, and you'll need all your energy. It'd be disrespectful if you don't do your best because you lacked proper rest. If you ever wonder where you should go, check the lore book to see where you should go next. That'll keep you from being lost. I understand, my lady. Good. I shall leave you on your own, then. May you find Levantine an enjoyable place. Oh, and please make sure that painting doesn't leave a mark on the wall. Oh man, she has a painting of her uncle on the wall. That's, Hey, look at that, we leveled up. That's exciting. I'm not supposed to get to actually assign anything. Nope. Fully automated in the JRPG style. Alright. Fair enough. Should I rest now? Let's stroll around a little. Let's see what we can see here. Okay, so that's a wall. Hey, it's a save point. Let's save. Looks like we can talk to the other characters. Meh. Let's wander around a bit. Yeah, so interesting fact about Celestian Tales Old North, it was originally planned to have a very consistent art style in, like, you see how, like, the backgrounds are all watercolored? So originally the character sprites were supposed to be as well, but apparently the developers got some feedback to the effect that people didn't really like the look of the sprites when they were in the same style, which I think is a little strange, because I remember seeing early screenshots of it, and I thought they looked pretty excellent. And to be honest, these sprites, they match reasonably well with the background, but, you know, they stand out a little bit. It's not like a perfect match. Violets are red, roses are blue. Wait, is that really how it goes? No, it is not. What have we here? It's a door we can't enter. Hey, who are these people? The sound of flowing water and the breeze of the wind. They're so beautiful. This could be a perfect day if only he would take a hint and let me sit in peace. What are you looking at? Learn not to meddle in anyone else's business, Squires. You are now multiple people. You are a plural squire. What is this? We obtained an honor medal. What on earth is that? Let's look in our inventory. What is that? Yeah, it doesn't tell me what that is, unfortunately. I guess maybe that's like a collectible of some kind? I don't know. Welcome to Upper Levantine, where nobles and gentries reside in the city. Please mind your manners in this area. Whoa, you startled me there, Squire. What would you do if I fall to the flux because of it? Yeah, I'd probably tell you to go flux yourself. Ho-ho-ho! Zing. Hey. Hey, you. What? Hey, hey. Aha. Ah, are you the new Squires of Levantine? My, how adorable. Especially you, brave LaRue. Who else had the privilege of being trained by the Ravager himself? Well, no one, I guess. What is this? Excuse me, can thou spare a moment for Deus Valorous, the one true God? Our church offers enlightenment for those who are lost in their path to follow the Deus. Okay, that person has nothing to say. We do weekly prayers together in Mudtown, but it doesn't have its own church. Mudtown! Oh, yes. It's different when you close your eyes and pray in such a huge place like this. It makes me realize how small I am as a person. Not me. When I pray in a place like this, it makes me realize how small I am as a cardinal. Or perhaps as a fox. Sorry. I don't know if the Mudtown thing was meant to be a Firefly reference, but it makes me think of Firefly, so, you know, makes me happy. Churches have always been my favorite place to spend free time. I would let myself be engulfed in peace, and by doing so, I can hear the voice of the Deus gently reaching my heart. Engulfed in peace is a very strange way of putting that. The sermons here are great as well. Instead of high concepts, they touch topics that are more grounded and close to the people. I am able to purify worldly wounds, but only the Deus himself can clear thy heart and mind. Embrace the blessings of the Deus, Squire. Feel his warmth surge in thy veins, and be reborn in his light. Thy wounds have been cleansed. May Deus keep thy heart brave and thy mind clear. And rest. And apparently we are literally the last one to show up for training. Young miss, the Master-at-Arms is waiting for you at the stables. Please meet him as soon as you are able. My name is Clark Gable. I have to go and set the table. I have no idea where the stables are, so I'm just going to wander around for a bit. You're late, Squire! Get here and start working! Now listen up, Squires. Horses are not merely beasts of burden. They are crucial companions for a knight. A horse gives one great advantages in combat, such as mobility and power from momentum. A lance strike from a mounted knight can devastate even the toughest of foes in a single impact. But power and mobility aren't the greatest advantage these horses give. Instead, it is to be noticeable. Mounted commanders are easier seen by their foot soldiers. Their commands can be better heard. Baron Riviere, the legendary knight known as the Moonblade, is known to be very skilled in mounted combat. A knight's mount is his status symbol. Such were his words of wisdom. This is an outrage. Why must we wallow in this cesspit? We are learning to be knights, are we not? We should be on top of these horses, not behind them. Unfortunately, Princess, that only applies to knights, not squires. Then what is the point of doing this? 'Tis useless to learn what we will never need to do. To do this again or not isn't the point of this training, Squire. Yes, you will probably never do this again, but someone will have to do it. Someone will have to clean your horses for you so that you can sit and lounge around lazily. Someone will have to feed them so that they have the strength to carry you on their backs. Do you even notice that there are people, real people, doing all these things for you? Just like what I thought. Then this is the perfect training for you. I'll be back in a while. Don't stop picking up those nice, squishy balls of dung. Yeah, dude, Arya's kind of a douche. Grr, so when Lord Alan talked about duty, he meant shoveling shit out of the stable. The Master of Arms did have a point there, though. Most nobles tend to forget that there are people doing the small things we take for granted. I know, but still. I guess this is just not the kind of training I imagined it'd be. Thou and I both, Reynard. This kind of lowly task is truly beneath nobility. Eek! Please don't bite me! Don't worry, Camille. She's quite sweet, see? See, you can pat her like this. She won't bite you if you're nice to her. I see. I'm not quite used to all these, tasks. As with me, and I would imagine none of us is. Yet it seems Lucienne and Isaac are unmoved by this horrible stench. How could ye stand it? Me? Well, it's a bit different for me. I've been in the LaRue cavalry since I was 14. I'm used to horses now. 14? I would imagine thou need some training before being accepted into the ranks. Was it because thou were a LaRue that the cavalry allowed thee in at such youth? Of course not. The LaRue holds their banner with pride, and even I have to earn my place there. It's why my lord uncle started teaching me to fight ever since I could hold a weapon. Back then I was 7, if I recall correctly. 7? Dear Deus, isn't it rare for a girl to train so early? Maybe. I've been watching Lord Uncle since I was little, though, so it wasn't that odd for me. I guess if it's the Ravager that teaches you, it's to be expected. Wait, what? You were trained by the Ravager himself? He's my uncle. There's nothing weird about being taught by your uncle. Yes, but not everyone has the privilege of being the pupil of the legendary Lord Severin. Lee is a little lost. Who is this person you're talking about? Lord Severin LaRue, also named the Ravager, perhaps the greatest swordsman alive in the realm. Legend has it that he's won 100 wars and has never been defeated in battle. I think I've heard about him battling the Fey forces as well. Do the elves never talk of him? No, not really. We don't speak about humans that much in general. Lee used to think that you are enigmatic creatures roaming the world outside the forests. If anyone is enigmatic, that would be the elves, Leanne. Anyway, I want to personally see what someone trained by the Ravager can do. Is that a challenge, de la Forette? Hey, stop chatting and finish your work, Squires. If you don't work faster, I'll make you clean the chamber pots as well. Not gonna lie, it's kinda hard doing that many different voices. Finish to last. Now, can we take a bath, O Master-at-Arms? A bath? Far from it. Your task for the day is merely halfway done. You see this entire carriage full of dung? You have to bathe it. You have to deliver it to Mudtown, west of the city. Mudtown? Is it a town made of mud? No, not really. So why is it called Mudtown? Because there's a river and it's muddy. I don't know, kid. It's just a name. So why are we taking this dung pile there? Do they need it for something? For fertilizers. Got to send them fresh so the villagers can grow us good vegetables. What's that I hear? Did you say chuckle at me, boy? Another timid squire, I see. Not even brave enough to admit what he did. Is this how you want to live your knightly life, Isaac? Hiding when you're confronted? Is that wussy kind of life the one you're aiming for? If not, then tell it to my face. Manure isn't used fresh, Master-at-Arms. They have to compost for weeks before it can be used. If you use it straight from the horse, it won't be vegetables they grow, but weeds. Really? Yeah, fresh dung contains too much water, which makes it easy for weeds to grow. If let to compost, the dung will dry up, which makes it easier for vegetables to grow. That's Surprisingly insightful, Isaac. There, not so hard, isn't it, Squire? Now instead of being known as meek, others will think you're knowledgeable. You do seem to have a lot of know-how about agriculture. Do plainsmen do a lot of farming? Not that much, I just learned about it. Now listen up, Squires, this is a very important lesson. More often than not, traveling is a dangerous task. Everywhere roads are infested with wild animals and criminals alike. To mitigate these dangers, you should split into parties of 3 and prepare for encounters. A party of 3 can work well together. More than that, and a fight turns cluttered and chaotic. Yeah, okay, that's nice way to... Nice attempt at lampshading your party size limit there. Also, while the 3 stand in the front lines, the others can handle other tasks, such as guarding the cart. I would prefer to take the vanguard rather than being in the proximity of this horrendous stench. Yeah, guess who's not getting to go in the vanguard? Arya. Me too. Let me go ahead and have a swing of my axe. You know, it'll take a while to have all of you fight over who does what. So here's how it'll go. Lucien, pick 2 to go with you and range ahead. The rest will stay with the cart and depart a few minutes after you. Understood, Master-at-Arms. A character has joined the party. Party formation changed. You can switch active party members to the reserve anytime out of combat. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Nope, I get it. Good, now go and return before sunset. Beware of wild mongrels out there. The mountain roads can be treacherous. Wild mongrels, huh? Alright, let's see. So, Reynard is clearly going to be helpful. Obviously, we're going to have Lucien. Who else do we want? Yeah. Sorry. Arya, I just really don't like you, so you're going back in the reserve. Camille, I don't actually know what you do, but I'm guessing you're probably a spellcaster of some kind, and that could be handy. I do really like, one thing I'm going to say that I really like about this so far, is the fact that you get a customized opening sequence based on the character you select. I've not seen very many games do that. Like Dragon Age Origins did it, and I'm having trouble thinking of any other ones off the top of my head that do that. It's pretty impressive. Okay, so we can't go that way. Where are we going exactly? Places. Yeah, okay, I know that. I just need to know, like, where to go to get to the place. I guess there just isn't a map. Well, time to wander around. Okay, so that's the church, and supposedly the place we want to go is just past there. So let's go ahead and head this way. Enemies, blah 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 blah. Hey, let's fight you. Sure, let's do it. Spiders, huh? Alright. So, looks like Camille's going first. Let's see what she can actually do. Sharpened Bolt and First Aid. Okay, so that just heals herself and makes enemies ignore her. Sharpened Bolt deals pierce damage to a target enemy with a good chance to inflict bleed for 3 turns. That's pretty handy. Let's just attack. So I'm not sure what that did exactly. Something about spinnerets. I'm guessing maybe he can use that to disable one of the characters for a little bit. Actually, let's see what your skills are. Wild Axe deals double damage with a chance to miss, and Rage raises attack damage and reduces Reynard's defense for 3 turns. Okay, so Reynard is just a straight-up damage dealer, it seems like. That's handy. Lucien is the tank of the group, seems like. Good lord, that was a lot of damage. I guess it makes sense to have enemies deal a really large amount of damage in this game, given that you can just recover all of your health after every battle. Whoops. Got kind of hung up on that bit of scenery there. Let's try a wild axe on this mountain boar. Okay, that's cool. Let's do Battlefield Tyrant. We'll have Lucian take all the attacks for a little bit. Okay, you attack him. And we'll let Camille finish off that wounded one up top. Okay, maybe not. Alright, we'll just let Reynard do the honors. And how about Sharpened Bolt? That's what you get, mountain boars. Ooh, we got 3 mains. I'm not sure how we got 3 mains from 2 boars, but you know what? Makes marginally more sense than getting, like, you know, gold pieces. So, whatever. Looks like these enemy patrol paths are set manually, which is pretty interesting. That's cool. They have a pursue behavior, it looks like. And then, once you get a certain amount of distance, they lose track of you and go back to their paths. That's cool. What's over here? It's a thing. We got a Coat of Vitality. That sounds potentially cool. Oh, so she can't even equip that. Looks like we're going to be giving that to Camille instead. Oh man, that is going to boost her health and defense dramatically. She's going to be much less vulnerable during combat with that equipped. I approve. Speaking of which, let's kill this dude. Ooh, 3 spiders. I'm so scared. Not. Lol. Let's do Battlefield Tyrant. Uh-oh, looks like my gamepad's acting up a little bit there. Don't mind me. Yeah, that's right. Victory is mine. Ooh, Camille unlocks Projectile Study. Lucienne unlocks Defensive Stance. And Reynard unlocks Tempered in Combat. Cool beans. I like it. There it is! The cart from Levantine has arrived! Hooray! Glorious piles of poop! Greetings, villagers! We're here to deliver the contents of this cart on behalf of Lord Allen. Look at that, such a big pile! Ugh, indeed, and the stench is sickening. Is it really? It somewhat is, but at least there were beasts to fight. I thought it was going to be a boring trip, but that was kind of fun, I'd say.
Why are you happy to hurt animals, Reynard? Do humans find it fun?
Of course, the heat of combat. The feeling of your weapon hitting a foe. It's exhilarating.
Lee doesn't understand.
Don't worry, Lee, me neither. The cart is yours now. Please take care of it. We will, miss. Please inform Lord Levant that we are truly grateful for this.
Never hast I seen someone so happy over dung.
In the castle, the heap is nothing but filth, but here they have their uses. Turning filth into something useful. Lord Allen does know what his people need.
Lee thinks it's very clever. She will tell her mother about this one day.
Is this how a wise man rules? Duty to the people, huh? At any rate, we should return. The sun will set soon.
Right now, does thy endurance know no bound, Lucien?
I would assume that it does not. Why don't we take a look around for a bit before walking back? Seeing how the commoners are doing is part of a noble's duty too, right? Am I right? That's a good idea, really. Very well. Let's take a rest for a while before going back. Arya's the worst. She wasn't even doing anything that entire time. And she's like, no, we can't head back, I need to rest, blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm going to speak Middle English incorrectly. Lol. I'm just gonna throw in thee and thou and ye at totally inappropriate moments. The river's currents used to be so strong that there were no fishes around. Come on, guys. Fish. Fish is the plural of fish. There is no such thing as fishes. But since Lord Levin built the watermill, not only are there fishes, we often get big catches, too. I seem to recall that Equator Games is not from a native English-speaking country, so I should cut them some slack, but man, I wish they would just, like, have sent this to someone who speaks English before they released it, because some of these things are kind of grating.
Lee likes this village. It's so peaceful, so different from the city and castle. The village reminds Lee of her home. Do many humans live like this?
Unfortunately, Mudtown is an exception. Since it's only reachable from Levantine, the village has always been safe from outlaws. Not many can say the same. Indeed, prosperous villages are rare out there. And if there are any, they often become ripe targets for bandits and marauders. The realm is a dangerous place, Leanne. It's not always like this. Sometimes people are so poor they have no choice but to become bandits. If living honest lives isn't enough to feed their families, then still they must pay taxes to the nobles. Wouldn't you do that as well? We may see the outlaws simply from the surface, but there's always a bigger story behind it. Nobody wants to be criminals because they're born evil. Isaac, there is no need to put ourselves in that place. Deus Valaris created the lowborns to serve us, the noble caste. In turn, we are to guide and protect them. 'Tis how the Deus wrote the world, and 'tis how it should be. If one cannot afford to pay taxes, they may serve the realm in other ways, such as becoming soldiers. Never is there an excuse to take what is not rightfully thine. Such atrocities simply cannot be justified. Hey, I agree with that. Soldiering is much more exciting than a peaceful life anyway. Seriously, don't people get bored here? There's no fights, no dangers. I'd die in a week. Hey, boy! Yes, you there! Yeah, you, boy, come here!
Yes, master, did you call for me?
Are there any giant beasts around here we can hunt? Any renegades we can squash?
No, there's nothing like them around here.
Ugh. See, it's so boring. Don't you agree with me, kid?
Well, a bit. Are there always giant beasts, robbers, and renegades outside, master? I've always wanted to leave this village and travel, but I don't know what's out there.
You should be thankful to have good crops every year and not starve. Some villages out there are starving to death. If those kinds of people want to leave their homes, I can understand. But here, this village is already far better off than most in the realm. Why would you even want to leave?
It's my father, young master. I want to go outside the village to look for him. He hasn't returned for years, and I haven't heard anything from him, but I'm sure he must be out there somewhere.
Are you sure you want to do that? It's a dangerous world out there. A different kind of place than this peaceful village. A boy like you won't survive for long. How are you gonna find him if you can't take care of yourself?
I guess you're right, miss. A kid like me would have little chance fighting beasts or bandits, but I can always avoid them, right?
Avoiding enemies might be easy at first glance, but life isn't that simple. There will inevitably be encounters that you'll have no choice but to face. Like, you know, boss battles. The more you avoid enemies, the less you'll be trained physically and mentally. There will be fewer fights, but the ones you have to face will be harder. That doesn't just go for you, it goes for us as well. That's why it's not always wise to avoid enemies just because we're lazy.
I see. Then I guess I should start training from now.
After everything she said, you're still gonna leave this village someday.
Of course, Master. If words can put my spirits down, how am I ever going to find my father?
Haha, look at this young lad! More villagers should learn from your confidence. What's your name, brave kid?
It's Cameron, Master.
Cameron, huh? Good luck finding your father. If we ever meet again, tell me what you've seen in your travels. Now, go back to what you were doing. The crops won't farm themselves, you know.
Will do, Master. Thank you for encouraging me.
You shouldn't have encouraged him, Reynard. He's but a kid. Ha! The girl who started wielding a weapon at its age 7 wants to lecture me about this? It's getting late. We should get going. Master-at-Arms must be waiting for us. Alright, gang, I think that's about all we have time for. I hope you enjoyed getting this look at Celestian Tales Old North. This game is available to purchase. I will have some details on that in the description below the video. And, you know, if you enjoyed watching this, please like and subscribe. And, yeah, as always, thanks so much for watching. I'm Craig Stern. I'll see you all in the next video.